Howdy everyone, Pocho here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you the most efficient way of gearing your heroes. I have done this video before, however it's quite old now. A lot of people know this method, but there are still a lot that don't. New players coming into the game, medium level players, there are still some old players that still are unaware of this method. I have met a lot of people, I've tried to get them back on track, and their progression is now increasing dramatically. So this method is effective, it works really well, and when you implement it you will see massive improvements to your account. Now, if you're a completely free-to-play player, I would suggest not implementing this strategy until you're a level 80 and you have at least 5 characters maxed out. The reason for this, and I'm not sure if it works the same way as it used to, but if you max one hero above all else, it is going to affect how difficult Tomb of Horrors becomes. And Tomb of Horrors for a free-to-play player, or most players, still offers valuable currency, hero shards, and silver. So making that harder for yourself is only going to hurt your account. So max out your 5 characters first, and then implement this strategy, and the game will become much easier for you. So what is the most efficient way of gearing your heroes? Well, the most efficient method comes through a method called market manipulation. It's been in the game for a while. A lot of players know about it. However, there are some out there that still don't, and it is hurting your accounts, and I hope to get that back on track. Now, why I said at the start of the video level 80, but this can kick in at level 75. The reason level 75 is because at level 75, the final slots in the Valley of Treasure open up, and then you can buy equipment from all the stores. Arena, Tomb of Horrors, VOT, Clan, and Raids. And that's where you get your high-end gear from, is from the markets. Now, as you can see, none of the gear at the moment has a green dot next to it. That means that none of the heroes I have at the moment need any of this gear. And that's because I've forced it to be that way. I've started to manipulate the markets to only show gear I need. So how do you do this? We'll head over to the heroes and I'll show you what you need to do. So jumping into my heroes, you can see I have a bunch of them at gear level 10, and then they drop down to characters at gear level 7. That's because once a hero passes gear level 7, the shops will start prioritizing gear for that hero. Anything below 7 is fine. You can level them through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as much as you want. The gear will not show in the shops. If you click on Sneaky Beaky here, you'll see I've filled up all his slots, but I just have not pressed the upgrade button. That's preventing him to going to gear level 8, and it's preventing the shop from showing pieces of gear for him. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you what happens. So if I click on Sneaky Beaky and I upgrade him to gear level 8, beautiful. Now we'll get out and go back into the markets. We'll go to Valley of Treasure, just because I have the most currency for that store, and I refresh. We'll go down to the bottom. Boom. All of a sudden, there's a bit of gear that is needed. If I click on that, it will show me I need it for Sneaky Beaky. If I refresh the store again, it will show me another bit of gear. It's needed for Sneaky Beaky. Every time the stores refresh, they are going to show me a bit of gear for Sneaky Beaky. I'll refresh the clan stores. Boom, a bit of gear. Let me get Sneaky Beaky. You see how none of this is for Sweet Voice? Because the gear level she needs just isn't high enough. All the gear that shows in the shops is high tier gear, and because Sneaky Beaky has surpassed level 7, all the gear that shows will be for him. Now, if I was a free-to-play player, if I was a person trying to funnel everything into one character, I'm going to be able to max Sneaky Beaky over the next few days. It's going to allow me to focus on one hero, it's going to allow me to max him, and then it's going to allow me to go on to the next hero. I could do this for potentially 2 heroes at a time. It will take a little bit longer, but you don't really want to go past 2 heroes. 3 at the absolute max, but I'm going to show you why having more heroes is worse for you. So we're back in heroes, and now I'm going to kind of bend over my account a little bit. So we're going to go into Arrogant Spear. I'm going to upgrade him to gear level 8. Awesome. Let's go to the next hero. What's that? Torak. We're going to go gear level 8. Great. And we're going to go over to Rogar, and we're going to go gear level 8. Awesome. So we're going to get out of this now, and we're going to go back into the markets. We have 4 characters at gear level 8 now. Let's go to Tomb of Horrors. We're going to refresh the store. I'm going to go to the bottom. Okay, we've got one bit of gear here. Who's it for? If we click on it, we've got 3 characters. We've got Torak, Spear, and Sneaky Beaky. We're going to refresh again. Got one bit of gear. Who's it for? We've got not Torak, Spear, and Sneaky Beaky. Let's go into Valley of Treasures, refresh. We've got one bit of gear. Who's it for? Rogar. All of a sudden, the store doesn't know who to prioritize gear for. It's going to randomize what hero gets what piece of gear. I'm no longer able to focus on one hero. The gear is going to be randomized for 4. This is bad because, for example, it's never going to happen, but for example, pretend Playcott all of a sudden dropped an event on us. 1-day event, 24 hours, I need to have a maxed Rogar. As a free-to-play player, it is going to take me so long to max Rogar because I'm relying on RNG. I'm hoping that every time these stores refresh, that I'm going to get a bit of gear for Rogar. Unfortunate, I didn't get it. If I kept my heroes at gear level 7 and that event dropped and I took Rogar past gear level 7, I'm going to be able to max him. Every bit of gear that shows up, boom, it's for Rogar. Boom, it's for Rogar. I can get all my essential bits of gear. The other bits of gear, I can farm through the campaign, funnel all my energy into that. You're going to be filling up his slots so quickly. You'll have him maxed. You can move on to the next hero. I could spend weeks now trying to max these 4 heroes because all of a sudden I'm getting bad RNG. One day I'm going to get a piece of equipment for Torak. One day I'm going to get a bit of equipment for Rogar. Next day, Spear. Next day after that, Spear again. I'm not getting the bits of gear I need. Now 4 again still isn't bad. I've had people come up to me with about 10 plus heroes between gear level 8 and 10. And how do you start maxing out those heroes? You can't focus on anyone because you can't even get the shops to land on the bits of gear you need. It slows you down tremendously. It's awesome seeing your account total power go up, but I promise you it's not worth it over maxing one hero at a time. So what do you do if you're only watching this video now and your account is kind of all over the place? You've got heaps of characters between gear 8, 9, and 10. It's not impossible to fix. All you need to do is start capping out pieces of gear. Like, for example, let's go into Torak. What I want to do is start capping out the pieces of gear I can. What I want to do is, if I get all these pieces maxed on Torak, I do the same thing as if he was gear level 7. I just prevent him from going to gear level 9. That way the shop no longer shows me bits of gear for Torak, and that's a bit less RNG I have to deal with. Once he's capped out at level 8, I can not worry about him and focus on another hero, cap them out. Pretend I capped all of these heroes out. Pretend I didn't need Sneaky Beaky, Arrogant Spear, Rogar, Torak. I would cap them out at gear at 8 and stop there. And then I would continue on the path of choosing a hero I want and then maxing them out. From here, I promise you, you will spend 2 days, 3 days getting them through a level, and then you move on to the next level. If you then somehow change your mind, you don't want to work on that hero anymore, you just pause it. You get them to the cap, you prevent them from moving on, you move on to a different hero. You could essentially have every hero you wanted at gear level 8. As long as you don't press that upgrade button and move on to gear level 9 and have a bunch of heroes with empty gear slots like we have now, you will be fine. It will take a bit of time, but just focus, fill up the slots, get rid of a hero at a time, cap them, prevent them from moving on, and your account will slowly get on track. It is possible. I've seen it happen with people, and they get ridiculously happy when they start to see their accounts progressing faster and faster. Now, if you are a new player or if you're in the mid-range of players at the moment, you will find that this method can't be applied to your account. But there are ways you can start getting ready for that step. You will find that most of your stores probably don't have equipment in it, and as a growing player, you're probably very tempted to buy hero shards. Now, my biggest suggestion to you players is do not buy hero shards for heroes that you can farm in the game. If you can farm the hero in campaign, farm it through campaign. Wait for double events to come around, work on them slowly, even get your random indigo runes. You're probably going to get that small chance of getting those hero shards. If you can farm it, do not buy it. Otherwise, you are going to hurt yourself in the long run. This currency is valuable. You will need it at some point to buy high-end gear, and the high-end gear is pretty expensive. If we go into Valley of Treasure, for example, that has some of the most expensive pieces. There you go, 10,000 coins for 15 pieces. It is quite expensive. That's 10,000 coins you might not have because you thought, hey, why not buy Kashat shards for 4,400? Why not buy Soothsayer shards when Soothsayer is probably one of the easiest champions to farm in the game? If you need advice on what heroes are farmable in the shops, by all means, feel free to hit me up or just ask the Discord community. People will have the answers for you. There are a very few exceptions. For example, Swamp Killer, that is probably one of the few heroes I would ever suggest purchasing with coins, even though she is farmable. But other than that, highly recommend saving your currency for heroes that are only farmable through the stores, or waiting till you're at that higher level and buying this expensive equipment and boosting the power of your account tremendously. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.